This
for
conference will
incoming
now
club
be
officers.
recorded.
This is the final presentation for incoming club officers, and it's for Leah Advisor. Lan Ayo, who is supposed to be a presenter, she may be having some technical challenges based on where she is living and the weather conditions. So I'm going to ask Lan Lindell Smith, past council chair, to jump in and facilitate. If by chance Lan Ayo comes in, she can take over from you. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, but I know that you're good for it, Lan Ayo. I'll just say the Lion's prayer and then hand over to you.
Lan Paula, to go to
Lan,
the studio.
sorry?
Can I disturb you for a sec, please?
Yes.
Her presentation, she gave me two. One of them have the sound to it, where she actually spoke
Yes.
through it. Did you want
Yes.
to just maybe use that one, and then Landindale could come in between if necessary?
Okay, fine. Are you okay with that, Landindale?
Yeah, I think that is, yes, that's probably the better thing to do.
Boy, your prayer line is good, man. Boy. Thanks, Land Wendy. To do that then, let me just say Land's prayer and I give hand over to you.
Okay, let me get it.
Land,
All right, no problem.
where lands meet, the present Lord, to weld our hearts with one accord, to do thy will, Lord, make us strong, to aid the weak and right the wrong. These series of presentations we found quite useful, and of course, as you know, COVID forced us into this situation, but I think this is a good situation because under normal circumstances, when we go to the various points for face-to-face meetings, we can only maybe access 2 or 3 meetings for the day based on what we want to have access to. In this situation, everybody can have access to all of the presentations, which gives it a better and a more fulsome delivery. So this is what we've been doing, and maybe even after COVID, whenever that is, this may be the route to go for some of the face-to-face presentations. We miss you, and I miss seeing all of my friends from all over the island, but this is another good way to go. Lan Wendy, you ready?
Okay.
Thank you.
Are we hearing? Are we hearing the presentation?
No, we're not. We're not hearing.
Yeah, I think it's very low because I could barely hear it myself from this end. Let me try something else. Hold on for me, please.
Okay. If we're not getting the voice, maybe Landil can assist us with the aid of the PowerPoint.
Okay, so that sounds like you're still not hearing it. All right. Well, yes. Well, sorry, Landindale, I tried.
Landindale, please, over to you. Landindale?
Yes, I'm seeing now that the PowerPoint is blank.
Oh dear. Did they do
And
that?
when they can continue running the PowerPoint, we can.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, as you can see, the first part of this is just historical. The Leo movement was started in the 1957 in high schools in the states in Pennsylvania, and in 1964 it became an official program in sorry 1967 became an official program of Lions International. All right, you can the objects of the Leo movement to make available to the objectives to the Lions Club an activity allowing them to serve the need of youth in their respective areas, to provide the youth of the world with an opportunity for development and contribution individually and collectively as responsible members of the local, national, and international communities, to promote service activities among young people and offer them an opportunity to develop the individual qualities of leadership, experience, and opportunity, and to unite the Leos in friendship, fellowship, and mutual understanding. There are two types of Leo clubs: the Alpha Club, which deals with the school children from ages 12 to 18. And I think most of the clubs that we have in Jamaica are Alpha clubs. No, Amiga clubs are between 18 and 30. No, I think we do in fact have more Amiga than Alpha. The Amiga club is between 18 and 30, which is community-based clubs, and which would have young adults and children just, I mean, those just leaving school and attempting to start their own, either go on to further institution of learning or to start their own careers. Now, who is the Leo advisor? What are the qualities that you're looking for in a Leo advisor? The Leo advisor is usually a lion in the sponsoring Lion Club who is responsible for the overall organization, supervision, and guidance of the Leo Club. The responsibilities of the Leo advisor are to oversee the initiation and ongoing development of the Leo clubs, promote Leo activities, and attend Leo Club and Board of Directors meetings of the Leo Club. The whole regular meetings with the representatives from both the Leos and the sponsoring Lions Club, and to review the actions of the Leo Club and its Board of Directors. To ensure that new Leos receive new members, material, and orientation. The Leo advisor also have to organize to recognize Leo activities and Leo achievements and encourage graduating Leos to become Lions. That has been one of the greatest area of challenges in most territories, being able to convince Leos to come across to the Lions Club. The primary roles of the Leo advisor would be to liaison, that's a liaison officer between the Leo and the Lions Club, to be a mentor, a motivator, counselor, and a humanitarian. Now, can just hold it there a second for me? And when in those roles, the Lions role as a mentor in a school-based club is likely to be largely different from the mentor in a community-based club. And the reasons are obvious. The school-based club being children 12 to 18, their mindset at that point in time is far different from those 18 to 30. And in addition to that, the type of things that they would be doing would be entirely different. So in mentoring young Leos in school-based clubs, it has to be more in the nature of parenting, of guiding in earlier skills, and of ensuring that the kinds of things they do, even within uh, projects, are of the kind which is to assist them in their leadership experience, just starting in their leadership experience. The same situation in relation to motivator. You will be motivating a school-based Leo, largely to ensure the continued work as a student, along with developing the mindset to be philanthropists, to be able to do projects to benefit others. You can move on, line, Wendy. Starting a new Leo club, you have to establish a framework and identify potential Leos. Some of you might have heard earlier in meetings by the in speeches by the district governor, and then especially in a paper presented by Lion Shonda Ford from Barbados on the background, having a basis for the formation of a Leo club. Establishing a framework and identifying potential Leos and inviting prospective Leos would not make much sense unless within that framework you have signs that this is something which can be continued, it's something which can be maintained. Not just that there are a number of eager students now or eager young persons who want to be Leos, but that they are going to be a reservoir from which more eager students and more eager young persons will be coming forward to sustain the development of that Leo club. Having satisfied yourself of that and inviting prospective Leos, then you would host a formation meeting, which is, for those of you who have ever seen a chartering of a Lions Club, it's just a mini version of that. The emphasis essentially is the same. And you complete the required paperwork. Now, this is something we wouldn't need to spend time here on because that is set out in the Leo Advisor's manual, easily for you to follow. Right, and in planning the installation ceremony, as I said earlier, there's not a great deal of difference in terms of the way you'd plan installation ceremony for a lion, except that with the Leos, if you are it's a school-based club, and it is more than likely going to have to be done in school time, then it's going to be a shorter ceremony. But a ceremony which, with the permission of the school, you would have the parents of the Leos present as much as possible. In the community-based clubs, then the formation, the installation process is pretty close to that at the Lions Club. Now, Leos and their financial obligations. For the, and when you move that a little too fast. Right. These fees are paid by the Lions Club. You remember the Leo Club organization fee, that will be paid by the Lions Club. And all the costs involved in the formation of the Lions Club are paid, of the Leo Club are paid by the Lions Club. But you would remember that a Leo Club is an activity of a Lions Club, and therefore the cost of forming a Leo Club can be taken from the activities account of your Lions Club, as with any other project. And you can see there the list of things that you'll have to get: certificate of organization, the Leo Club officers kit, Leo Club sponsors kit, and their various lapel pins. You can go ahead now. Now, in relation to the awards and recognition, again, you would have, just like with your Lions Club, you'd have Leos of the Year award, Leo's October Membership Growth Month, Leo Completion of Service Certificate. You have the Leo Club Excellence Award, Leo Lions Serving Together Award, and the Leo Spotlight on Children. And at the multiple and district level, top 10 Leo Club Extension Awards. Those, of course, go to the Lions clubs. The Leo Club president may present this award to Leo Club advisors who meet specific requirements. That is the Leo Club Advisor Outstanding Service Award and the Leo Club Advisor 5 Years Service Award. These awards, as you see again, to the advisor, not the Leo Clubs. And it would be good if in a formal way they are actually presented by members of the Leo Club than the Lions Club president or a member of the Lions Club. You can move ahead. Again, this is now just a recap of what we have gone over. What's the meaning of Leo? Leadership, experience, and opportunity. Or you cannot be a Leo advisor without knowing something as simple as that. But whilst this is running, let me just say a few words which are not on the slides. In establishing a Leo club, a Leo advisor and Leo advisors need to remember that Leo clubs are not mini Lions clubs. And I think this is one of the greatest errors that Leo advisors make over the years in attempting to make the Leo club just a small version of a Lions club. There are a number of reasons why that cannot be. The Leo club is essentially supposed to be teaching the Leos a sense of responsibility, to be able to develop from that early stage an appreciation for assistance of others, and to assist them in becoming leaders in their own rights. So when you are looking at doing that in a Leo club, it is a far different thing from seeing how many projects a Lions Club can have per month, the nature of the projects. When you take, for example, school-based Leo clubs, the chances are 90% of those projects are going to be within the school. And it is the ability to be able to identify things that are needed within their school or within the school's immediate surroundings, and doing those things, planning, organizing, etc., and executing those projects will be not exactly the same as you would expect Lions to do that. In community-based clubs, then you can have a little more, an attempt to be a little more like a young Lions clubs, because the members are older and are now in the stage where they are getting ready to be able to manage their own lives. But certainly in respect to the alpha clubs, every Leo advisor must remember that their roles as mentors and as counselors would be far larger and far more important than attempting to have them do hundreds of projects, and all accolades are based upon how many projects clubs can do rather than how the members can be developed as young persons for being good citizens later on. Now then, Paul, I'm not so certain that there
That
is much more I can
that
do
this might be the
with this.
last. Okay.
Sorry?
Yes, and Linda, I am so appreciative that you jumped in, and I want to find out what has happened to Lan. Maybe she's having a challenge, maybe with the weather and all of that. One question I want to ask you quickly: what do you
Yeah.
think that we've been doing wrong? Why the Leos don't seem to want to come over to being a lion? What are some
That
of
has
the
been a
reasons?
right. That's been a question which is asked very often. What it is that we are doing wrong in not being able to win them
Yes,
over? I think part
yes,
of the reason is a different mindset. The younger persons tend to feel that, and as we talk, the rain is coming down here. The younger, the school-based clubs, of course, they're not considering 90s metal. They're far too young for that. So it's the ones which are in the community-based clubs. Now,
yes,
for a great extent, at the jump from Leo clubs in its financial responsibility to Lions Club, as simple as it might seem, is a significant jump for persons who are, one, just leaving school and attempting to find a job, two, just leaving university and doing the same thing, but including now having students loan or other things to pay back, or homes to set up for the first time. So the financial obligation, I think, is a little daunting immediately for persons having left Leo Club to Lions Club. Secondly, I think the image of Lions clubs. I think largely Lions clubs need to look at their image in the way they deal with each other, in the way they carry out their meetings. Because if you have spoken to Leos who have said that they can't or won't join a Lions club, no. Whilst matter of finances and matter of time might come up, what usually comes up is the way the lions behave with each other. And so
Mhm.
lions, the example lions set whilst they're lions might not be the best example to convince Leos that
Okay.
it's something to want to be a part of. But
Okay.
it is the same reason why you don't get a lot of young persons who have never been Leos becoming in
Into
lions
lion.
so easily. Largely in this case, it is they're not yet being settled with the responsibilities they have. They are the responsibilities that they are now getting. Having to start to think about finding out money to pay their own rent or to buy their own food, looking about getting their own family set up, starting families. It is the same reason why you have problems with young lions in most lions clubs. They have
Indeed.
too many other things which are more important to them at that stage of their existence than spending time with Lions clubs. And not necessarily because they have become less sympathetic to the needs of the less fortunate, but they are now more concerned about their own needs and the things they need more for their own development.
So, landing there, the quality of the Leo advisor is very, very important then to win these young persons over and to fully understand where they have reached in their particular point in time.
The quality of the Leo advisor, yes, and
Yes.
also the well, I guess that's part of the quality of the Leo advisor. The Leo advisor's whole understanding of the Lions movement and of Lionism. We have
Indeed.
made mistakes very often to say that the best Leo advisor is usually the youngest person you can find in the club, or a young person in the club, or
That's
somebody
true.
who was a Leo themselves, as to whether or not that person was ever a, a, a very good Leo, but just that the person was a
Yeah.
Leo. So the choice of a Leo advisor is an extremely important factor. Anybody who don't like to deal with young people, for one thing, can be a Leo advisor.
Yes.
Or shouldn't be. Anybody who feels that the way to still deal with young people is by telling them what to do, rather than assisting them in
Mhm.
determining what they believe is best to do, is not going to be a
Right.
good Leo advisor as well.
Okay. Thank you, landing there. Are there any questions for landing there? Anybody have any questions? Well, if there are no questions, I want
Line,
to thank you so
line,
much.
line Paulette,
Yes.
Walton Gooden from the Grand Caymans Lions Club. I was on the side all the
Hi,
way. Line,
welcome.
my question would be: has the district ever done a survey of past Leos from the days when we have real good Leos to get an understanding from them why they did not transition to Lions, so that we could get an understanding rather than we on the inside trying to come up
Yes.
with reasons of why they're not coming. I hear Leonindo.
Okay,
Ask
but
them why they're not coming.
right. Then Walton, good to hear you. Uh, I don't think the district has ever done anything formally, but I know in past years a number of Lions clubs have from time to time carried out what you call exit interviews with with Leos to find out why. I can tell you, for example, from personal experience, when I became a Lion, there were a lot of Leos who were older than me, and they were especially in clubs like in Montego Bay, the Montego Bay Leo Club. There were some very big Leos who were intimidating. You know, they were just coming as a like, by that time I was already married and working and all that, but I was just 2 months over 30. and there were one or two of them who were past 30. And so you find all of those you would expect, because they were big people and very assertive in the club, would have become lions when they no longer was able to stay in the Leo club. And that by the time you realize they should have gone, but they didn't leave because they didn't want to go to Lions Club. But whenever they had to leave, finally, none, very, very few became like. And when there were discussions with a number of them from time to time, I said, why not?
Yeah,
They
this
couldn't
is
deal with
something
that.
that we need to do then.
Yes, sorry, can you repeat that for me?
No, I'm just saying that this is something that we need to investigate then to see what we can
Right,
do to
yes.
win them over, but why they're not staying.
Right. Yes, because a
Yeah.
number of those, the answers they gave was they can't deal with the Lions. They can't deal with them because either they now saw themselves as being challenged. In other words, is it like the Lions were so aggressive or assertive towards not willing to listen to them, not willing to allow them to do anything or make any changes
Yeah.
for their own benefit,
So
that they
setting
just couldn't take that on. I wasn't able to deal with them. Later on,
okay.
many years later, one or two of them became Lions. But
Okay.
after they had settled again,
Line, Paulie, I
Yes.
really, I've spoken to Shonda and a few other district Leo advisors and stuff like that before, and
Yes.
I've pleaded with them to do two surveys, one of young people in general in the age group of
Yes.
18 through 35,
Don't
whether it
put
be
Yes.
it's emerging. No,
whether it
it's
be
too
something we do at parties.
easy. Put
Yeah,
it to charge.
put it.
Do not use it.
Sorry, somebody have on their mic there?
there's a
Yeah.
mic
Sorry, go
on.
ahead.
Lampard, I'm on. Yeah, I was saying that I
Yes.
would like to see two surveys. One for young people out there, whether it be
Yes.
at pageants or in the schools or something, to find out from them what would make them want to be a member of the Leo Club. Explain to them what we offer. Get testimonials from past Leos, Steve
Mm-hmm.
Prince, and all those testimonials, and do a survey and find out from them what would make them want to be members of the Leo Club
Okay.
in this day and age. And the second would be to the past Leos. Steve know
Mm-hmm.
who they are. A number of the guys that came through know who they are. Go back to them and find out. Do a survey to find out from them what would it take to get them back into the movement.
So that's a great idea. We will take you up on that. Thank you so much for that recommendation, suggestion.
Thank you.
Laniel, I know that you have
Yes,
another assignment, so I want to thank you so very much for jumping in at the last minute. I want to thank
Land Paulette,
everybody who,
Land Paulette,
yes,
Land Andre Young McIndoe here. Good afternoon, everyone.
hi, how
Good
are you?
afternoon, Land Lindell. How are you? Roots going back
I,
to Mandy.
yes,
Land Paulette, as
Leo.
I listen to you and Lindell, my mind has been racing. Our Leo Club in Pembroke Hall, and going forward under
Yes.
COVID, we're going to have to be, it's not really a question, but a quick suggestion. We're going to have to be very creative now in this I wouldn't say post-COVID yet, but as we go along, how we engage them online and so on, because if the restrictions of 1010, then creativity will definitely be needed to keep them
Indeed.
engaged. So my mind is already racing as to how we, tackle our Leo club already. So that's just a
Yes.
suggestion, because it's a new normal, the new phrase.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
yes,
So,
I agree with
very
that.
much,
I
Lan
agree with
Andrea.
that.
Thank you. Any other questions for Lan or any other comments? No? Okay, thank you all. Thanks for participating. Thank you so much, Lan. And to the recommendations. We will certainly take you up on that, sir, and make sure that we perhaps include you in that project. All the best to you all for the rest of the afternoon. It was our pleasure having these set of presentations. All of them will be posted on the Leo, no, on the district website. Have a
Okay.
good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lion Wendy.
Sure, Paulette.
20,
Thanks and bye.
21st. Bye-bye.